You're very welcome back. Now, starting in 2027, SPHE, Social, Personal and Health Education, is going to be a mandatory subject for all senior cycle students in secondary schools very shortly.
Yes, and as Richie Sadlier is shouting at us, it's not just about sex. Here to tell us what it means for everybody, it is psychotherapist Richie Sadlier and Kevin Shortall, our wonderful school principal who always shows up for us. Guys, it's lovely to have you here. Thanks so much. SPHE, right, Richie, what is it? What's taught in those classes?
So SPHE is now the subject that covers what we used to call relationships and sexuality education, all about the health and well-being of youngsters, and all of the subjects that all the topics that you would navigate through your mid-teens and into early adulthood. So what schools have now is an opportunity to really lean into this kind of education, because I've been on this couch loads of times before, where we talk about how do you talk about this stuff with teenagers? Where do they have the space to learn about it? How can they hear from one another about it? And now the Department of Education have said this is now mandatory in schools. So schools have got this opportunity now to do something really, really meaningful.
OK, so SPHE kind of in years gone by, I would have always thought it's a bit of a DOS class. Yeah. It's not really taken that seriously. Yeah. What sort of topics are being addressed now in senior cycle that are actually very important, that it's actually put out there?
So you think of all the things that are in the lives of young people today. So how do you navigate the world of social media? What does online safety actually look like? How do you navigate a modern relationship, and what are the issues that you would need to encounter? All about consent, and all of the things that, moving quite away from all the sex stuff or any of the contentious stuff or the difficult, awkward stuff. A lot of it is just kind of the stuff that teenagers encounter, like what pathways are ahead of me in my life? Who am I becoming as a young person? What are my values? What are my choices? What's important to me? And how will I tease out all of those things in a way that works best for me, so I can make informed decisions that work for me? So a lot of it is just the supportive, well-being focused stuff that teenagers will benefit from everywhere.
And I can't explain to you the amount of times that we do any subject and it's like, this should be taught in schools, this should be taught in schools, this should be taught in schools. We'd love to hear from you at this 0896 111
This should be taught in schools.
This should be taught in schools. But because, Kevin, from your point of view, are teachers supported enough? This is going to be it's compulsory up to junior cert, it's going to become compulsory up to leaving cert in 2027. Do teachers have the resources to teach and deal with this subject? Because oftentimes teenagers know more about the world of social media, know more about the world of tech, and know more about the bad things you can see on the internet than adults do.
Yeah, and I think what we need to understand, first of all, that the teacher doesn't need to be the expert in everything. Very often when I go into a classroom, the students in front of me know more than I do, and I'm certainly not the most intelligent person in the room. You just aren't. Before I was a boring principal, I actually taught SPHE for 21 years. And I happen to believe it's the most important subject. I think it's the foundation upon which your whole life should be built. And I mean, the sooner this becomes compulsory and mandatory in schools, the better, because it helps us to grow and develop as human beings. And once we have that in place, everything else will come much more naturally. So whether teachers feel they're resourced enough or not, that's a problem we need to solve. Now,
See what you've written up on the screen, to lead difficult conversations. How about facilitate important conversations, or to facilitate conversations that young people really want to take part in? They're dying for the adult world to step in and go, help us with this stuff. Because all we're learning is from social media. All we're learning is from TikTok Reels and what pops up on our Snapchat, and all of us can talk at length about how that's not the best way to learn about these topics.
Is there a right and wrong in a lot of these topics? Or is it about exploring this?
Well, the wrong is not to talk about it. I mean, Richie's already done an awful lot of research on this, and the big mistake we make is to keep quiet on things. I think it's really important that we discuss openly. Now, there are some teachers who don't want to be the teacher that's involved in that. I happen to love it. I always loved those open discussions. And you said there a minute ago, we always felt it was a DOS class. That's really important. The word DOS class doesn't necessarily mean useless class. DOS class means we don't have to do homework, we don't have to do writing, we don't have to learn stuff off by heart. But you could teach students the 5 reasons why they shouldn't take cocaine. It doesn't make any difference whether they will or they won't. So it's not about knowledge and awareness. We have to take it beyond that, where we're looking at behaviour and attitudes and ultimately how this makes a difference to your life. That's the X factor. That's the hard bit.
Yeah.
But that's what SPHE taught properly can do with a psychological basis, as Richie has said consistently for so long.
Like the role of an SPHE teacher is described as a facilitative role. You're not there as the expert in the room, and I think it would be a silly position to start with, as we've said, to start talking to a group of 16-year-olds going, I'm going to tell you about the world of social media. I'm going to tell you about peer pressure. I'm going to tell you what it's like to be a 16-year-old in a relationship with a phone and all the apps that come with that. So the resource I've been working on for the last year, which is now available for schools, is Let's Talk SPHE. So it's a curriculum aligned. We've done all the groundwork to save teachers from having to do it. There's lessons planned, lesson activities, and the whole thing, the ethos behind it all, is that you're supporting a teacher to deliver the curriculum, but it's discussion led by the students.
So this is, I think it's so interesting. Let's Talk SPHE. You've been working on this an awful long time. And I have to say, whenever Richie is in here, when we're off air, I learn, and on air, but I learn so much from you, because you are at the coalface of what's going on and you dive very deep into what's happening. And there is a knowledge gap between what parents think their children know and are seeing and what they're actually, what they actually know and see, right? Like there is a knowledge gap there. And is there still an attitude of, well, my little Rachel or my little Tommy wouldn't be looking at that?
Yes, there is. And I think how you bridge that gap, first of all, is to create the conditions where teenagers can talk about what the reality of their lives is like. And it's not the contentious, difficult stuff, but any aspect of it.
Yeah, okay.
What's it like being in school these days, being at home, being online? What does the world of socialising look like? There's a lot of things that any generation of teenagers have to navigate, but today's teenagers have a specific set of challenges because they're in the online world. So creating a space where they can talk about the reality of what that's like, and they learn from one another. And the adult in the room facilitates that learning, and you learn by discussing it. And then you avoid a scenario where you have a load of adults in the world who are in their 30s and 40s, and they show up to a therapist like me going, I've never spoken about this stuff before this session. Because the education system I've been through has, for whatever reason, deemed well-being and health as the less important, least interesting thing to do. And I think we need to flip that on its head and go, the well-being of youngsters is the most important thing.
Yeah. How does this go with parents? Because should this be something that's put on schools to try and educate the children now? Should it be something the parents? And then how do you deal with maybe some parents that maybe don't want some of these topics?
There are parents who don't want their students, a small number of parents who don't want their students to engage in any conversations like this. But all the international research says that exposure to such conversations doesn't mean that you're going to engage in any kind of behaviour. In other words, I don't want my kids hearing about transgenderism because suddenly they'll want to be transgender. I mean, that's just nonsense, you know. The most effective interventions all around the world involve schools in conjunction with parents, in conjunction with public health information. So in other words, the more we talk about these things, the less taboo they are, the more progress we make.
And there is international research showing that knowledge-based information on subjects such as sex education actually leads to more informed decisions, delaying of people getting involved in such things. So there is international research on this. Richie, when you were coming up with this platform, you were talking to the young people that we talk about and around, right? We do a lot of talking about young people. What's actually going on? What are they saying to you?
And that's like the footage on the screen now. I sat in a room with so many different teenagers and just said, well, what's going on for you? And so the topic of relationships is one that most people are interested in. And they talk about the fact that, well, actually, cheating is normalised and promoted on the social media apps we're on. Or really toxic behaviour by partners is promoted as something you should really look for.
Like what? Like what would be an example
Things
of
like,
toxic
I remember some of the girls were telling me that actually, we were 13 and 14 on TikTok seeing reels from other females going, I love it when my boyfriend tells me what to wear, or tells me I can't have male friends, or they're really jealous. It shows me that they care. That's how I know my fella loves me, right? So this is back to what I said a moment ago.
Which Women's Aid are doing a campaign exactly about that.
Okay, so this is how you learn. So we as adults just need to shut up, create the space for them to talk, and we might learn, but the biggest thing will happen is they'll learn from one another. And that's the key thing. We need to kind of step down from thinking we have to find the answers and the killer phrase and the best analogy and the best stories or parallels to draw. We just need to get them to talk about what's it actually like being 18 now and having spent the last 4 years thinking it'd be great to find a fella who's really jealous because that's how I know he loves me.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Or lads, and this is one that came out a lot, so many lads think that if a girl says no to any advance you make kind of sexually to her, that's when you know you should break up with her. Okay, so these are the messages. They're the educators at the moment of our youngsters today. So in a world where we decide SPHE is just unwanted clutter on the timetable, or it's too awkward for teachers, parents don't want to bring it up, fine. But we're letting social media apps do it instead. Yeah. And that's not a good place for young people.
How important is it though to find, because like you've Lou Theroux's Manosphere documentary on Netflix is very eye-opening as well. We have social media, some of the stuff that is coming up is insane. How important then is it that we put the best teachers in charge of this so that they're willing and the right people to open up these conversations?
As Richie said, the best facilitators, the ones who have those positive relationships. The very first question I was ever asked as a teacher, 26, 27, 30 years ago, believe it or not. And I remember I spoke to the class and somebody put their hand up. I remember, still know her today. She said, "Are you a virgin?" And I was like, for a second, I went, how do I answer this? How do I answer this? And the most valuable lesson I ever learned as a teacher was from a student, because I turned around and said, "Why is that important to you?" And suddenly we had this big conversation about peer pressure, age of consent. And one of them said, "Well, what age are you?" I said, "I'm 25. Well, if you're 25 and you're still a virgin, you must be a frigid," right? So we still had this huge conversation and we delved into things really deeply. I think teachers and facilitators, people in classrooms shouldn't be afraid to have these conversations because they're going to hear it anyway, as Richie says, and not just on social media. What are you talking about on the corridors? I grew up without social media, and the conversations we had about everything were very deep. And I think we need to create a space where people can have a conversation in a safe environment, where you can delve into things and look at them in a very positive way and reflect and think, what is right and wrong? What is reality? What should I be doing? What are my responsibilities? What do I want for myself as a human being? That's key. It's more important than any subject. Last week we spoke about this, sitting here, about our obsession with the CAO and progression and results and all this kind of thing. Let's get this bit right before we do anything else.
Exactly.
Absolutely amazing. So are you? No. He is brilliant all the time coming into us. Kevin Shortall, Principal of St. Aidan's Community School. Thank you so much for that. And Richie Sadlier, psychotherapist, who's come up with this programme. It's called SPHE.
Let's talk
SPHE, not SPHE. He hasn't come up with the curriculum. But it's important that parents also empower themselves and just listen to know what's actually going on.
The
in
best
their
sources
world.
of information about the world of young people is young people.
Yeah.
Open up the conversation, as awkward as getting something like that was.
Give them their platform to be themselves and talk to us.
Fair play to you. My
Fantastic.
God.
Well done to both. Thank you for that. 0896 111 111. We, of course, love to hear from everything you're thinking about this as well. Get in touch, even if you're a teacher in the classroom dealing with